Hello, you guys. What is going on here? It is yours truly, Master Sakurai here. Decided to put this um kimono coat on because we're gonna be watching this particular video that was in my reaction request that somebody put on the Discord. This is 3 foreign samurai who were still famous and praised today. Now, I can probably guess who he's going to mention, but let's just dive on in and just not guess. Let's be surprised.
Have you ever dreamed of becoming a samurai? Well, you don't have to give up. 皆さんこんにちは。そして Let's Ask Shogo へようこそ。In this channel, I, Shogo, will introduce various topics about Japan. So learners and lovers of Japanese language and culture, this is your one step deeper. そして今日はこちらのテーマのお話をさせていただきます。Were there any foreign samurais? Was a question I was often asked when I was working at Kyoto Samurai Experience. If you imagine a foreign samurai, I know the Last Samurai will come to your mind. And you might think it's a Hollywood movie. A foreign samurai couldn't have existed. However, that's not true. Today, let me introduce 3 foreign samurais that actually existed in Japanese history. それでは今日も始めましょう。
Okay. Yasuke.
Let me first start from the most famous foreign samurai, Yasuke. In the Civil War era, many slaves were brought to Japan by European merchants and diplomats. Yasuke was one of those slaves that was brought to Japan by Italian Jesuit. He was born in Africa, where Mozambique is now. Yasuke met the strongest samurai at that time, Oda Nobunaga, in 1581. Oda Nobunaga is the first samurai that almost conquered all of Japan. He was called the Devil due to his aggressive attitude and violent nature. This powerful samurai was very interested in his African slave, so he asked the Italian Jesuit to let him stay in Japan. The slave didn't have a name, so Nobunaga decided to call him Yasuke. Yasuke was 182 centimeters in a time when the average height of a man was 154 centimeters. Also, in some historical records, it is explained that Yasuke had strength worth 10 men.
I can believe
He
it.
was also a very honest and hardworking man, so he was officially allowed by Oda Nobunaga to carry katanas like samurais and own his own house. Yasuke would even hold Nobunaga's weaponry from time to time, which was a very honorable job, because it meant that he was truly trusted. This means that Yasuke was in a much higher rank than most Japanese at that time. Oda Nobunaga died in a fire set by a traitor's subordinate in 1582.
Damn.
Yasuke was staying at the same temple that night.
Damn.
Yasuke ran to tell the allies that there is a traitor and to protect the son of Oda Nobunaga. He was defeated and caught, but was released due to his loyalty. There are no historical records about what happened to him afterwards.
Damn.
Yasuke is very popular and famous in Japan, so there are many books, mangas, and movies about him.
Yes. Ian. They just announced recently. Well, actually, probably last year. Yeah. That he was getting like a Netflix special. That was talking about him, but it was more of like a mythical like story instead of like something that's like in reality. But it's gonna be like if freaking Demon Slayer met Yasuke. Also, I always heard from some people who knew about Yasuke that like when he came to Japan, they didn't understand why he had such black skin, so they tried rubbing it off you're scrubbing it off, but it could never come off. And because they've never, apparently, when Yasuke came, this was I was told when I was in like school. Okay, when Yasuke came around, no one of them saw a black person in their life. So when he came around, they were in awe, because why would a person be this tall but be dark? It wasn't like it was a bad thing. They were baffled because they didn't understand. But like he was saying, he grew to be well trusted. They trusted him.
If you're interested, I hope you can check them out.
Miura Ajin?
Next, let me introduce the samurai with blue eyes, Miura Anjin. Miura Anjin, or William Adams, was born in Kent, England in 1564. He studied shipbuilding and nautical, and in 1588 he took part in the Battle of Armada. In 1598, he had a chance to join a fleet of 5 Dutch ships heading to the Far East. However, the voyage suffered attacks from Portuguese and Spanish ships and horrible diseases. By the time William Adams reached Japan, only one of the 5 ships were left, and 86 men dead out of 110 that left together. He and the other men were captured by the Japanese at the shore of Oita Prefecture, one of the most famous samurais in history, the shogun that started the Edo period. Tokugawa Ieyasu first suspected that they were pirates, but from the confident attitude of William Adams talking about the wars in Europe, the misunderstandings were solved, and they were officially invited to Edo, which is now Tokyo. Although Williams wished to return to his home country, he was asked to stay in exchange for money and rice, which was a pretty big deal for Japanese at that time. He worked as an interpreter and advisor in times of diplomatic negotiations, and taught geometry, math, and nautical to Tokugawa Ieyasu's subordinates. He even helped to build the largest ship at that time, weighing 120 tons. As a reward for all of his hard work, William Adams was given a Japanese name, Miura Anjin, the privilege to carry katanas, and even land, and a Japanese wife for himself. At this time in the Edo period, carrying 2 swords and having a last name was a privilege only allowed to the samurais in the top class of Japanese society. This means that Miura Anjin was officially a samurai. However, once Tokugawa Ieyasu died and his son took power, the government started to limit the amount of trade and began the famous isolation system. This is mainly because Christianity was starting to gain more power than the government. The people of the government started to be cautious about Miura Anjin because he might become a traitor due to these changes. Truth be told, he had no intention of doing so.
I bet he didn't. And you know what's crazy? What's crazy about it is, and I know I'm gonna get flack for this. I know I am. But that whole ordeal about Christianity and like trying to force it upon others in different countries, because a lot of people from America were trying to do that. Well, yeah, I mean not even just from America, from like all over, like the damn fucking crusade, like those motherfuckers, they really just were insistent on just spreading their knowledge of God, or not their knowledge of Jesus. And it's like, dude, you're screwing everything else up. You're screwing everything else up. Why would anyone want to change their way of thinking so that, I don't know, so that you could, for your beliefs could be validated. I still don't see what the outcome of that was going to, like, I still don't see what their goal was. Like, I know for them, if it was to spread Christianity around the world and to bring them to bring everyone together to know God, or to know Christ. But at the same time, people are different. People are going to live their lives differently. You can't, and I know this has happened years ago, but you can't force Christianity and your religion upon somebody else, especially if they're not doing anything bad or harmful, and in order for you to do that, because they were trying to, like, make people change to religion as if they were doing something wrong beforehand. You know what I'm saying? Like they were immediately doing sin. You know what I'm saying? Since they didn't know Christ, their Christ. But it's like, dude, that's ridiculous. That really is ridiculous. Like, y'all screwed up a lot of shit, because a lot of countries grew, like, conscious of that. Well, like, okay, so if they're like this, because you know what's happening now, well, we can't trust him. We can't associate ourselves with these people, because this is what's happening. I'm not trying to say Christianity is also at fault for why the world is like this, but at the same time, Christianity is the reason why this world is the way it is now, because too many motherfuckers with the wrong way of thinking tried to force religion on people, and people did not like that. A lot of people just did not like that. You can't force your religion, your way of life, on someone else. You can invite them, like how the Japanese did with William, but not force it upon them. That was the mistake that they made. That Christianity made. You force it upon somebody else, even though they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything wrong. It's just their way. It's their lifestyle. It's their culture. It's complete. Or you're on the other different side of the world. How the hell are they going to see the way you see?
He passed away quietly in his home in Japan in 1620. The grave of Miura Anjin and his wife still exists in Yokosuka City, Kanagawa Prefecture, where he used to own as his land. Every year, in April 8th, there is a ceremony called William Adams Cherry Blossom Party that takes place in the city. His contributions towards developing Japanese culture is still praised today.
Oh, wow! Well, that's good.
Last but not least, I will introduce the French samurai, Eugène Courage. The time will jump to the 19th century. In 1868, a naval cadet, Eugène Courage, from Perpignan, France, escaped from his ship that was...
Isn't it Eugene? I'm sorry, I don't mean, I'm not trying to correct him, but Eugene, but I'm more like, it looks like it would be Eugene. I don't know.
In Yokohama, he moved to Hokkaido, the prefecture located in the northern end of Japan. It was a time of war and anarchy in Japan. Two groups, the shogunate and the new government, fighting each other about who will lead westernized Japan, the next generation. Eugène Courage heard about this war and went to Hokkaido because he found out that the shogunate government had fled there. He fought together with the shogunate army, but eventually lost to the new government due to the quality of the weaponry. Eugène Courage was exiled from Japan and was sent back to France from Yokohama port. Back in France, he was forced to retire his job as a Navy, but the punishments were very light. In 1874, he wrote a book about his adventures in Japan. You can read this book today. Why did Eugène Courage run away from his ship to fight for Japanese soldiers? No one knows for sure, but he did wear kimonos and carry katanas the whole time he was in Japan. Maybe he fell in love with the samurai culture and wanted to do what he can to help. So lastly, today's conclusion. I introduced 3 famous foreign samurais left in Japanese history. 1. Yasuke. Yasuke was originally a slave born in Africa that was brought to Japan by Italian Jesuit. He stayed in Japan due to the political leader Oda Nobunaga's wish. Nobunaga gave Yasuke his name, the right to carry swords, and his own house. He was also privileged to work as his weapon carrier, which is a very honorable job at that time. Yasuke fought for Nobunaga until his end, and no one knows what happened to him afterwards. 2. Miura Anju. William Adams was an English navigation officer that accidentally came to Japan in 1598. Although he wished to return home, the political leader Tokugawa Ieyasu asked him to stay because he wanted his knowledge of shipbuilding and nautical. He was given a last name Miura and the right to carry 2 swords, which was a privilege only to the samurais. His contributions towards developing Japanese culture is still praised today. 3. Eugène Courage. Eugène Courage was a French naval cadet that ran away from his ship in 1868. He traveled to Hokkaido to fight for the shogunate army in the Civil War of Westernization. He wore kimonos and carried swords the whole time he was in Japan, so it's widely believed that he must have had a strong interest in samurai culture. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching.
Alright.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and share it with your friends and family. And my goal is to achieve 10,000 subscribers.
Well, it's a new year, but anyway, at any rate, thank you, Shogo. Thank you. Like that was very informative. It really was. The only the samurai I knew what was about Yasuke. That's the only one that I knew, but the others, yeah. Didn't mean to go on that whole rant about Christianity. It just really like irritates me, just because that was partially the reason why the world is the way it is now. Like religion, it's a good thing, but it also has its flaws in a lot of areas. And yeah, it's not no all cutesy and butterfly, rainbow, happy-go-lucky that people try to make it out to be. It's dark, and it can get darker. So, that being said, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Go support Let's Ask Shogo. I'll probably do another video of his once I have the time to, because I see it on my on the recommended tab. It's a lot of videos that pique my interest. So, with that being said, this has been Masahiro Sakurai. I will see y'all again next time, and I love you guys. I'm out. Peace.